Hey, Shalom Israel. We're the ISUPK starter on West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Junior Hanna. We start off by saying we're not affiliated with any other Israelite groups, Muslim mosque, Christian church, any other sects, blackity black groups, or big head Negroes, or, whatever. We stand alone. And so all throughout the nation, today is Tuesday, we're going to be going over brotherhood. Now, if you don't know what's so important about brotherhood, brotherhood is the quality or state of being an actual brother. All right, so understand that. And brotherhood is also synonymous to sisterhood. So being as though brotherhood is responsibility, brothers have a responsibility to one another. So do sisters. As a nation, we need to learn to have more compassion for one another. Yeah, understand? So if anybody has any questions, please put them in the chat. We're going to talk about a few points tonight and hopefully get your questions answered if you have any. So if you've been paying attention to the news, there's a lot of things going on, from voting, to these wicked holidays. One just passed was with a trick or treat, Halloween. Sam Hain, for all you Celtic Negroes that celebrated, Halloween, you understand? And what else? We got Thanksgiving coming up.
That's right.
I went to the store the other day. They was already pulling out, Christmas, ornaments and all that other stuff. So what's so wicked about that is learning another nation's heritage and cultures, you'll forget yours. And instead of, doing what thus saith the Lord has commanded us to do, the so-called Blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians, we follow after, the wrong traditions and cultures and customs. And we're punished for it from our power. We had, what was the last feast that we just had passed?
Feast of Shabbat. Was it
that? The one we just had passed. I think it was who? The Feast of Tabernacles.
That's right.
Right. And so you go to Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, it talks about all the feast days and high holy days that we're supposed to keep. And being as though we don't know our customs and the traditions that the Lord gave us for days of rest and understanding, get us a chance to get up out that cage, in the city called America. Instead, we waste our money and get closer and closer to the oppressor, feeding his lust and his desires with our hard work and, the sweat from our brow. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, okay, Most High in Christ. All right, so we're going to start off with some voting. All right, voting. So as long as I can remember, there's a time of the year where, we run to the voting polls as if that's going to make a difference in the Black community. You can chime in whenever you want to, brother. As if it's going to make a difference in the Black community. We voted for George Bush Jr. Before that, Kennedy.
For
sure.
Okay, we nothing has changed in your life. Okay, Joe Biden, has anything changed? Donald Trump, has anything changed? Obama, has anything changed? Before that, George Bush 2, anything changed? Bill Clinton, anything changed? George Bush 1, Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter, Gerald Ford, Richard Nixon, what was the man named Johnson, and he's the one that started that wicked civil rights movement that took the Black man out of every home. Okay, John F. Kennedy, Harry S. Truman, Eisenhower, Truman, Roosevelt. You could go all the way back. Your life has not changed in any significant way, regardless of who in office. I don't care what state you're in, who's the governor, who controls the Senate, who controls the Congress. Nothing is going to change, because you know what? This was not designed for you.
No, Most High Christ. That brother had a valid point. He took you all the way back. He said, true, but good night. But, you think about one of the most infamous presidents, what I'm saying? The one that was supposed to, change it all. His campaign was what? Change is going to come. Yep. Barack Obama. Yep. Filthy, stinking Hamite. He didn't do anything for the Black community. The so-called Blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians. He did help out the LGBTQ community. You understand? All that voting and running to the voting polls and, doing all these things. Like the brother said, the change that you received wasn't for the better if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American Indian. All these other heathen nations may have gotten change from it, but we did. So we're going to go ahead and go to Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. All right. So if you're at home, take these precepts down, man. Don't just sit here and listen. Get into a healthy habit, of writing these precepts down in a book so that you can refer back to them. There's always going to be somebody trying to give you some type of false doctrine. What did I say, 17 and 15?
15.
Let me get there. You can go ahead and read when you got it, brother.
Okay, we go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 15. Thou shalt in any ways set him king over thee.
Hold on, read that again. Slow it down, brother, so they can understand what you're saying.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 15. Thou shalt not any wise.
Oh, read what you see.
Thou shalt not any wise set him king over thee.
In any wise, man. No matter what you do, thou shalt not set him king over thee. What is that talking about? Anybody know what that's talking about?
If I was to say, that's talking about, okay, thee is God, and king is any of these politicians that you're going to vote for.
Right. So when you think about it, it says, thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee. So what do kings do in a society? They rule, right? So when it comes to this wicked society we live in called America, which is our captivity, who would be equivalent to our king?
The president.
The president, the one who breaks the laws, takes food off your table and puts it in another nation's mouth because, they just so happen to be the same nation of people. And I'm talking about those, Ukrainians, all those other nations that get, our financial support, and we get nothing. We can't even get fresh or clean water.
That's right.
Meanwhile, they're sending billions to other nations. Well, keep going, brother.
Whom the Lord thy God shall choose, one from among.
Hold on, slow that down. So what? So whom what?
Whom the Lord thy God shall choose.
Whom the Lord thy God shall choose. The Lord thy God, meaning your power, shall choose. Now, if you just tuning in, when it comes to this nation of Israel, who's over the so-called Blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians in this nation?
And this is Christ.
Christ. But when we're talking about the ISUPK, who did he choose?
Commanding General Yohana.
Commanding General Yohana. And we're going to touch on some other topics like Kyrie Irving, and what's the other brothers? Kanye West, a couple other brothers that are dealing with, not having those gates and being behind them because their Christian leaders don't give a damn about them. They're going to watch them be lynched, lose their jobs, and then, financially take a hit. It's one thing having the knowledge and understanding, or it's one thing having a zeal, but not according to that knowledge and understanding. You got to do your 90 days, kill that old man, put boots on the ground, come in here, sit down and learn something. And then you have the protection of the ISUPK. You ain't got to worry about being persecuted as far as what those brothers are going through. Yeah, it's good having that knowledge, but according to what? You can't fake the funk. You can't, because the oppressor is a wicked bastard. He's going to make you do what a lot of these brothers are doing, which is so wicked and so cowardice, and that's apologizing. Well, thanks to Commander General Yohana and the ISUPK, I'm a Jew by blood, and I'm never going to apologize for it.
And if I may, okay, because what you just said was so heavy with that, okay, with it's one thing to have the knowledge, but knowledge without understanding is nothing. And the one thing that was under Commanding General Yohana and all the generals and all the captains and all the officers UPK, we ensure that we have an understanding that go along with the knowledge. And that's why those brothers out there are apologizing right now, because they've been made to think that, what we're doing, is wrong because they don't have a proper understanding or proper guidance to let them know and to back them up to help them defend what they're saying.
Right, absolutely. And one thing that General Muhammad always teaches, man, I'm not going to go on the defense and explain myself to some filthy, stinking heathen.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't battle that way, and we don't, defend the truth that way. You know what I'm saying? You explain to me, you prove me wrong. It is what it is. We're supposed to have freedom of speech here in this wicked empire. freedom to choose your religion, all these freedoms, equality. Now these brothers are finding out there's no such thing as equality. It is what they say it is. And it's crazy. Like, I don't even care. This is their wicked kingdom.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care. When it comes to, what? Yeah. Because in my kingdom, I don't want to see none of you. You know what I mean? Without a cause, do your work, do your job. Sometimes I might just, hey, look, clear the restaurant out. It is what it is. They don't want you running to their neighborhoods and doing all that. You got them Karens calling the police.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They don't even want to hear the truth.
The hypocrisy of this whole thing is, okay, we got Kanye and Kyrie. Kyrie just got suspended, losing endorsement deals left and right. Kyrie Irving did.
Right.
Kanye West is losing all this money, endorsements and all that stuff, contracts canceled and everything. And they sit there and apologize and got to get on the defense. But think about this, man. Everybody know the name Brett Favre.
Right.
He went there and stole all this money to benefit his daughter's gym, volleyball court or something like that, and went through all this heat and everything. The media sort of brushed it off and gave him a pass. Now, have you heard him apologize? None of his sponsorships, endorsements left him. He's not apologizing because guess what? He know who runs this kingdom.
Right. Absolutely. Go ahead and get the rest of that verse from me, Baba Kishore.
From among them, thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother.
Okay, hold on. Start from matter of fact, start from one from among thy brethren.
One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee.
And understand that, man. We ain't got but one king. That's Yahushua Mashiach. And when it comes to the righteous men, the mighty men that the Lord put ahead of us now in this wicked kingdom, the only person he's dealing with right now is commanding General Yohana. You understand? He knows what to do with tithes. You pay your taxes, and like the brother was saying, you'll pay money. Government assistance is what Brett Favre used to build that big volleyball stadium, and they were giving old retired wrestlers money that was supposed to go to those families that needed help. Was it down in Louisiana? Was it Mississippi?
The poorest state in America, too.
They're taking that money, that assistance, that's allotted to them, and giving it to their own, just like Esau did. He made it to another nation and gave all his inheritance to those dukes and those duchesses and all that, and keep going down and keep going down. Don't misunderstand the value of property. They die, their parents die, and all the work that we did in our ancestors, they built their mighty nation off of it, and they leave their estates to their kids. I was just talking to my older brother, Alawan, earlier. He said, we die, we got to have a damn fish fry. You know what I'm saying? Just to get a headstone, man.
GoFundMe.
A GoFundMe. And we're the greatest people on the face of this planet. And you're persecuted for saying that. That's why you need to come in the ISUPK and pay your tithes to Commander Juliana, because he knows how to build a nation. He knows what to do with it. You ain't going to see him running around here with some Fendi and Prado looking like some big goofball, some airhead getting robbed in a pulpit. No, you're not going to see that. But what you will see is brothers and sisters all around America, that whosoever, changing their lives, getting food assistance, cash assistance, getting their rent paid. You understand? Doing the things that are necessary so that they don't have to do what Kyrie Irving's being remanded to do. And I'm a side note, I'm going to just read that one time. I took a picture of her. It's so disgusting. In a land where you're supposed to have and be able to manifest destiny from sea to shining sea. That's the American dream. The American dream. But it's not a dream. It's a nightmare for the so-called Black Hispanic Native American Indians. So here it says, sources. Nets have delivered Kyrie Irving 6 items he must complete to return to the team. Now, I know y'all seen Draymond Green punch that other brother. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's brother or not, but put his hands on him. Or he didn't get suspended. No type of terms of remandment or anything that he had to do after physically assaulting someone. We have all these cases all around the world where, people get big payouts, what I'm saying, for whatever the cause be. But he made a statement that was supposed to be what, anti-Semitic.
Anti-Semitic.
And so now these 6 things are apologize / condemn a movie. And I think the movie was Christian, low-key, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't even, that's the thing.
It wasn't a real, right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, he has apologized for some counterfeit movie that makes a statement. How powerful is that, knowing your actual identity? How long are we going to be simple and call ourselves African Americans? But let me get back to it. $500,000 donation to anti-hate causes, sensitivity training, anti-Semitic training, meet with ADL, Jewish leaders, meet with Joe Tiasi, I don't know how to say that, to demonstrate understanding. All that stupid, man. All that is really ridiculous when he's supposed to have freedom of speech and religion.
That's right.
And we know that religion is nowhere in the Bible, but for argument's sake, he don't know that. And so they're talking about he has to meet with a whole bunch of liars. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of people who are claiming to be something they're not. I don't have a problem saying it. Do what you must, because Commander Gianna gets all kind of emails and the unthinkable. He never turned from this truth. This is why we're here and able to give the truth and the understanding to our people. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, well, something that just came out too. The piggyback on what you just said too with Josh Allen. I don't know if you guys know who he is. That's a quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. Okay. I believe 5, 6, 7 years ago, I can't remember exactly, but when he was still like a freshman in college or something like that, maybe a senior in high school, he had a bunch of posts using the N-word over and over and over again. It came out and it's been documented now. Now, has he been put on any list or scrutinized for it? It might have been mentioned, but he didn't get a list of apologies that they have to do or things he have to do in order to, heck, he just signed a contract for like $170 million.
But freedom of speech, you don't have freedom of anything unless you have this understanding up under Commander Junior Hanna. Because the truth, that's what actually sets you free.
That's right.
From these strongholds. Understand, this is not our rest if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Indian. Joe Rogan did one of the same things.
That's right.
He has clips, a whole montage of him saying nigger. It's like they get a kick out of it. you know what I'm saying?
What was that guy that fought for him? Conor McGregor.
Oh,
said that so many times.
Yeah, he called Floyd Mayweather a monkey.
Monkey, yeah. He didn't have to do no apology.
And see, back to the topic, but these are the devils, man, that we want to vote to be rulers over us. Slave masters. You said something about Ronald Reagan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Reaganomics, man, the war against drugs. There was no war against drugs. He pumped cocaine, which turned to crack cocaine, and into the barrios, the ghettos, and the hoods. You know what I'm saying? And what happened? We became strung out on it. We OD'd, and we killed, we raped, we murdered, we robbed, just like the oppressor. The devil the Bible speaks of. They know exactly what they're doing. And so does Commander General Hanna. So if you got any questions, comments, or concerns, log on to ishpk.com. Find the closest school to you. If you can't, like I said, we have periodicals, circulating books. There's plenty of things that you need to understand before you just go out here and start doing this job, man. We are not paid actors. This is real. You will be persecuted. And if you don't know how to defend yourself in the right way, if you have Christianity all running through your veins, you're not going to have any type of self-discipline. You don't get in front of everybody and make a fool of yourself and apologize for your royal blood, man. Go ahead, brother.
You said something, though, when you brought up Ronald Reagan. Once again, we're talking about the hypocrisy of it. And once again, we're talking about it don't matter who's in there, okay? So I want you to think about this, everybody. The priest just brought up a very valid point about we're no war against drugs. They're the one that pumped the drugs in. And there's a whole propaganda. Nancy Reagan, they're saying just say no to drugs and all this stuff. And
and they put in the hoods and the boroughs, and we killed each other. God just set back a whole generation. But for all y'all went and voted today, probably just, y'all voted for Joe Biden. Let's not forget back in 1994. Okay, he's the one that wrote the book that put so many brothers away for crack cocaine. If they sold crack cocaine, they was getting like life sentence with the 3-strike rule and all that stuff. Joe Biden wrote that bill. He wrote that bill. He since tried to apologize for it because he wants your vote now. So let's not forget that. So that the whole thing is a systematic thing. And let's not forget Kamala Harris, who is not a sister, okay, for one. Okay, she put away so many brothers. Now, I'm not condoning marijuana, okay, but I'm just talking about how the system is, and these people act like they love you and everything. She put away so many people as the prosecutor in San Francisco, Northern California. And then when she wanted the black people vote, she talking about she smoked a little bit of weed. You remember that?
Right. And you putting people away, mass incarceration because of the 94 crime bill. So Lockheed. I think it's 94,
94.
94.
Okay.
So you think about what they're trying to do now. And all that did was fund so that they can build more penitentiaries, man. Get free labor.
That's right.
And like I said before, the only way you're going to be free from that is if you come into the ISUPK and get this truth, live in the light and not the dark. Matter of fact, let's get Exodus 20:3-5. I think that's what I want. So let me go to it. Exodus 20. Let me see. Is that what I want? Like I said, we are the ISUPK. Started on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana.
And what you're saying too, once again, is just so heavy, man. With we're so brainwashed with this whole thing that anything's going to change. If I vote for this politician, hey, it's going to get better. We get food every year. How many times you got to give food doing the same thing over and over again? Like they say, the definition of sanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Yeah, insanity. Damn right.
It's not going to change. So why do you keep doing it? How many times you got to punch that wall with your fist before you know that wall's not going to break, your fist will? How many times you got to pound your head against that brick concrete before you know your head going to crack before that brick concrete cracks?
Right. So like, drop that. Let me get Deuteronomy 7.
Deuteronomy 7?
Yeah, 7:3. Understand that. You wonder why, we got brothers, dying, from Trayvon Martin to the brother, what was it, Takeoff?
Yeah, Takeoff.
Takeoff.
Right.
It's just crazy. I'm seeing all these conspiracy theories because of the Halloween video he put out with what was it, Offset?
Mm-hmm.
No, Quavo.
No, it's Quavo. Yeah,
Quavo.
Yep.
So they slowed it down. They showed a picture of him beside an RIP sign and stuff. Understand this, man. It ain't no conspiracy theory. The Most High controls life and death. Who leaves and who stays. If you don't keep these laws, statutes, commandments, you understand, and that judgment finds you, it's your turn to go. It's not because, he's more wicked than you, or you are more. It's because it was his time, man. That's right. And if you don't keep these laws, statutes, commandments, you will be destroyed. Don't believe the Christian church when they say, oh, well, you're going to have grace and mercy abound. That runs out. Now, I've seen something that stood in my mind and made more sense of that conspiracy theory. A brother slowed it down and said this was his last puff. This last puff he took with his uncle before he died. Not only did he celebrate a wicked holiday, you understand, smoking weed, which is also against the laws of God, man.
That's right.
And if you don't believe it, he's going to kill your favorite rapper for smoking weed. He'll kill your black behind for smoking weed. Understand that. We die because we don't keep these laws, statutes, commandments. We don't do what thus saith the Lord. So whatever excuses y'all making up, just understand that. If you're not keeping these laws, statutes, commandments, you're going to be destroyed. Without a doubt. We're going to get to that in Deuteronomy. But go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. He's talking about these heathen nations, man. America is a heathen nation. You You understand? We're not from America. We're not from Africa. Understand that. So everybody talking about, oh, I'm a Jew by blood and not understanding what it actually means. That is not our land, man. You know, we were sold into slavery, the transatlantic slave trade. We ended up here in America. We're not supposed to vote for some wicked oppressor, another slave master who's what going to be less blunt and harsh, like what's that the heathen man Donald Trump. You know, he want to grab women by their private parts and you know raise up the good old boys. He was bad for business. His own people got him up out of there because you know Negroes were like, man, I don't like him too much. They wanted somebody Sleepy Joe, like Sleepy. They say, man, you ain't black if you don't vote for me. You know what I'm saying? How he can raise his arms. You know what I'm saying? Call little black kids roaches. People find it comical, but this is what they actually think about you. And this is the type of person you're going to vote to be ahead of you. And the money that you're supposed to give, he's going to allow Brett Favre to take it to build a volleyball stadium. So he be pedophiles with young women. Now, I don't care about their women, but you know, when it comes to my brothers and sisters, you know, I absolutely do care for them. We're not supposed to make marriages with these other heathen nations, man. Understand that running to the voting booths and doing what everybody else did before you is going to have you marching later on that year for another innocent black man, unarmed black man who was killed dead in the street. And what's that marcher going to do? Nothing. They don't care. They don't let you march till you get bunions.
That's right.
Because they know it's the first holiday that comes up, you're going to forget all about him. George Floyd going to turn to, oh, I remember, yeah, what was his name? George Foreman? You know what I'm saying? You know, forgot the brother's name, calling him George Foreman.
That's right.
Like, what kind of wicked mess is that? But we don't have enough care and compassion to see the value in one another. All we care about is what I'm getting for Valentine's Day. Who's cooking for Thanksgiving? Whose house we gonna go over?
Who's making a potato salad for 4th of July?
You know what I'm saying? And you get in there and sit at that table because you know Pat LaBelle got a sweet potato pie you ain't had yet, and you want it warmed up with the whipped cream. You're gonna sit beside your child molester. You're gonna sit beside your abusive mother. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna sit beside auntie. You know what I'm saying? That burned you with the cigarettes, and you're gonna do that all because you're listening to a wicked nation. And you're following their traditions, which are wicked. Why would you celebrate the slaughter of our Native American brothers and sisters, man? Why would you do that? That's what you do every time you celebrate these wicked holidays. And in Leviticus, it talks about in the 23rd chapter that if you don't celebrate the Most High's high holy days and feast days, you're going to be cut off from the nation. And that's how diabolical the oppressor is. You know, he'll put his campaign out there, just like Kamala Harris did, and say they're going to help our brothers and sisters on the border. Meanwhile, they're still there in those damn cages, sleeping under those thermogenic blankets, trying to stay warm on a freaking concrete floor. And they flew all those bastards from, what was it, Israel? 250,000 of them. They fallen off the plane. That was the best sight to see right there. Other than that, they brought them here to Southern Ohio and gave them homes. Those same homes that are being gentrified, they raised the price. All those properties that you see, you wonder who owns them and what they're going to do with them. They're stashing their relatives and family members in them.
Ukrainians too. They brought them over here.
Man, it's a lock here. Matter of fact, let me see where we was at.
We was at the daughter. Like daughters.
Yeah, man, drop that. We gonna keep it pushing.
Can I give you something real fast?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
That I wanted to, because we was talking about how these holidays once again. Okay, and what you got to understand, and if you, when you come to this truth, understand everybody, your some of your best friends, your best family members, they are not going to be on board with what you're saying. They're not going to. You're going to lose some. People going to be upset with you because you didn't go to a birthday party. They're going to tell you like, well, it's not a birthday party. It's a birthday party, but you know what? You just coming to hang out with me, or just come over and get a plate for Thanksgiving. You know, even though we're all celebrating. And I wanted to give something, if I may.
Oh, hold on, I know where you're going. You at Matthew 19?
No, Mark 10-29.
Mark, let me see. 10:29. Yeah. Go ahead. I thought you were going. Go ahead.
What kind? This is the book of Mark, chapter 10, verse 29.
And Jesus answered and said, verily I say unto you, there is no man that hath left house or brethren or sisters or fathers or mother or wife or children or lands for my sake and goes. Okay, so basically what he's saying is this: when you start living strictly by the laws and commandments set forth by the Most High, expect to lose some people. Some people are going to go away. And then I just want to skip down to where it says, no, that was it right there. Sorry, that was it. I just want to just bring that up.
Go ahead, break that out again.
Okay, so it says, there is no man or woman have left house, okay, or brethren, or sisters, or fathers, meaning that, listen, as you start doing this work of the Most High, you start living by the laws, statutes, commandments set forth by him, for his sake. It said, for my sake. It means that you're going to get, because if you go to 30, but he shall receive 100-fold.
Right.
He shall receive 100-fold, meaning that because you don't go to that birthday party, because you don't go to that Thanksgiving dinner, because you don't take your kids trick-or-treating, because you're living strictly by what the Most High is saying, you're gonna receive 100-fold. Now, in this time, houses and brothers and sisters and mothers and children and lands, okay, with persecution. What's persecution? It's like back then, it's the same as they call prosecution now. That's right. That's the generator of it. And in the world to come, eternal life. So basically, expect this to happen to you, okay? Once you start living this, once you start giving up the weed, once you stop smoking cigarettes, once you stop doing the Thanksgiving dinners, the Christmases, New Year's, 4th of July's. Once you stop doing this, that means you're starting to walk in the direction that the Most High has commanded you to walk, starting to live in the way Christ has commanded us to walk. We're following the commandments, living the way God say. People are going to turn away from you. People are going to start calling you crazy. People are going to say you're in a cult. People are going to say, what is wrong with you? You've changed. Damn right I've changed. I'm not that same person, because what you said at the beginning, I don't want, when you do them 90 days, what are you doing?
Oh, you killing that old man.
That's kind of one kind. That was his search.
Oh, yeah, no sweat. Hey, that's a heavy point. We're going to go to John 5 and 3, and we're going to touch another precept that, coincides with that one. Let's go to John. Because the brother is saying it's heavy, man. You got these holidays coming up, and if you don't know how to fight those demons that are inside your head, you're not going to be able to fight your mothers or big mamas or your favorite cousins. Say, man, come on through, man. They upstairs. You ain't got to. You just come downstairs and drink with us. You know what I'm saying? We smoking, get a little contact, whatever the case may be, knowing it's a sin. Just come on through. You got to know how to combat those demons, because everybody says they love the Lord, and that's just not good enough. You just can't confess it. You just can't say it with your mouth. You have to do it in deed and in action. You got that?
Count on one kind.
Go ahead.
The book of John, chapter 5, verse 3. In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk.
Salakia, where you at?
You said John 5 and 3, correct?
5 and 3, yeah. Hold on, let me see. Salakia. Yeah, that's not what I want. Matter of fact, we'll go ahead and go to the other one. I'll bring that one back out. Go to Matthew 19 and 29.
The book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 29. And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life.
That's what the brother was bringing out just a few minutes ago. Read that one more time and stop at that word forsaken.
Kind on one kind. The book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 29. And everyone that hath forsaken.
Everyone that hath forsaken. What does it mean to forsake something? It means to renounce or to turn away from entirely. Understand that. If you renounce the holidays, you turn away from them entirely. You know, they got 365 days of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your mom does to buy her grandbabies some new socks and drawers. Why wait till when's Christmas? 25th December.
25th. Yeah.
25th of December. Y'all ain't know. Celebrate that wicked holiday. You know what I'm saying? You got 365 days of the year, 66 for leap year, you know what I'm saying, to put together a basket. And you know, I'm telling you right now, bunnies don't lay eggs, but
That's
you know, put together a basket full of candy or do something dumb like that. He just says you have to do what?
Forsaken.
Forsake, you know what I'm saying? To renounce or turn away from entirely. Don't be duped into, you know what I'm saying, keeping their holidays. You know, oh, just come on, man. When y'all celebrating it? What's the last day of December? The 31st?
31st.
Oh, yeah, come on. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, it's New Year's.
Yep.
You're in there with a dumb party hat on, blowing on a kazoo, drinking champagne because you got duped. No, you have to be wise. You know, you have to, you know, keep these laws, statutes, commandments on the table of your mind, man. Understand that. You can't let somebody else, you know what I'm saying, ruin you. You know, the oppressor's already doing that. That's the quality of state of being a brother. Understanding what it is that you're supposed to do and those things that you're supposed to renounce and turn away from completely. Go ahead, finish that out, brother.
Kind of one kind. I'm going to start from the top if I may.
Go ahead, yeah, for sure.
The book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 29. And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life.
Man, that's heavy. You know, it's gonna be hard for some of you brothers, especially you sisters, man. Hey, you sisters, that's my only daughter. You know, that's my only son. Well, they've been so good this year.
That's right.
Why are you gonna lie to your kids about some fat white bastard? You ain't even got no chimney coming to bring presents. And then you have to grow up understanding that he ain't never did nothing for you but whip your back. You know what I'm saying? Redline you, gentrify your neighborhoods, you know, take away any space that was available and give you the crumbs. Not even wanting to do that. Just imagine, you know, we're in the midst of a pandemic and everybody's supposed to get $1,200, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's supposed to get 12. You know what I'm saying? You looking forward to it. You rub your hands together. You know you need tissue.
Already
you know,
spent it.
Baby need diapers. It's gone.
You
Ain't
already
it?
spent it in your mind.
Negroes is good for doing that. And come to find out, because you had a wicked baby mama
She gets it all.
and you had back child support, you don't get man, you don't get a piece of paper to fold. Imagine that. I mean, these are the people that you vote to be ahead of you. No compassion for you. No love, no understanding. You know what I'm saying? No mercy. Think about that.
That's right. You know, if I may too, it's,
Sure.
it's something I wanted, because when you was talking about, you know, the Easter bunny and that, hey, it's my only baby, you know, when I was a child, I had Christmas and everything, I want my kids to have it. I want to pull one up if I may.
Oh, for sure.
I want to go to 1 Corinthians 13. And it says, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Okay. So now when we say man too, we're talking about your sisters too, because it means you're an adult. Okay. You're an adult now. Okay. So if you're out there thinking that you got to do Christmas or Thanksgiving, or because you think about all the joy you had as a child, going on Easter eggs hunts, putting on the devil's costume and going on knocking somebody's door and getting candy, it's because you was a child then and you thought as a child, but now you're an adult. You don't let a child raise a child. So you got to start thinking like an adult, a man or a woman, and do adult things. When I became a man, I put childish things away. Don't you think it's about time to start putting childish things away? Don't you think it's about time for you to start raising and teaching your children as an adult and not as a child? That's all I want to say about that. I don't want.
All right, no sweat. So understand this. if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, and you're not in the ISUPK, the best thing that you can do for yourself, your family, and anyone that's around you is inquire. Go on www.isupk.com. Ask your questions, man. Get understanding. Learn who you are, where you come from. Don't take the Christian church's word for it. There's a Christian church on every corner. Every Martin Luther King Boulevard you go to in America, it's 17 churches. And they're not doing anything up in there but, taking your pension, your monies, your offerings, and wearing them. You keep going back because the money that you could be saving, paying your tithe to the ISUPK and benefited from, you're watching him flaunt it. He pull up in his lap on Dubs. You know what I'm saying? Oh, whatever it is, it's on Dubs. And you think the Lord's blessing him.
And you know what they fast to say?
What's that?
I heard Creflo Dollar saying this. I saw a little thing I was watching. It's showing that Creflo Dollar lives in a house that's worth $5.5 million. What's the TD Jakes live in a house that's worth $3.3 million. What's the white devil's name? Joe Osteen got a $12 million house. I can't remember the other pastor's name. He got a $29 million house. And then I heard what's his name said? Creflo Dollar said, if the Lord want to bless me with a $30 million jet, that's a blessing that the Lord want me to have.
Excuse me. Understand this. He's a wicked bastard. He's a liar. The truth isn't in him. This is not our rest. There's nothing wrong with, a brother, making money. But understand this. When you're taking it from the people and you're not doing right by it, man, kids you not. Pay your tithes. You want to know where to pay your tithes? www.isupk.com, man. And you'll be able to benefit from that. It's a commandment. All right. You're supposed to keep all the commandments. That's what I think. You know what? Matter of fact, everybody says they love the Lord. We go 1 John 5:3. So, Lockie, that's what I meant to say.
Count out on one count. Let's go to the book of 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God.
For what?
For this is the love of God.
Everybody claims to love God. Everybody says, I love the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Then turn around and got a ham sandwich for lunch. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I love God. You know what I'm saying? While you pull up your G-string, about to go dance on a pole. Oh man, I love God, man. He blessed me while you bagging and tagging. You know what I'm saying?
Don't forget Valentine's Day. You're going out and have your shrimp and crab and lobster.
Oh yeah. What's it? What's that? For our champagne shower, like you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Lobster, shrimp and lobster towers. Man, listen, that is one of the most disgusting things you can possibly eat. And the Lord hates it. But you claim to love him so much. We're going to find out what the love of the Lord is, what it means to love him. Keep going, brother.
That we keep his commandments.
That we do what?
Keep his commandments.
Oh, okay. Keep going.
And his commandments are not grievous.
Oh, you don't care about that little bit of, man, I'm going to get my life right with the Lord, but I got to snort this last line. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get my life right, man. But there's just a couple more Instagram models. I got to, whoop first. You know what I mean? I just, everybody got an excuse.
Or what about this one? I'm gonna get right with God, but first, I want to make sure I'm perfect before I go to Him.
Yeah, right.
That's the big one.
Yeah,
I want to make sure I get myself together. Then I'm gonna come to the Lord.
You know what I'm saying? Or you got that wicked pastor telling you, you have to have your own personal relationship. Come on in here, let me say a little prayer. You know what I'm saying? Now you bent over on your knees in front of this big sweaty hand bag, big pantsuit. You know what I'm saying? He's taking advantage of a brother.
Alligator shoes.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Alligator shoe wearing, alley cat coat wearing. You know what I'm saying? Boy, get on out of here with that mess, man.
That's right.
We just read to you what the love of God is, man. It's keep his commandments. And then I agree. Go ahead, brother.
Yes.
Hold on, Salaki.
Oh,
Can I get a breakdown on chapter 4, verse 4, 1 John chapter 5, following verse 3.
Go ahead, read it.
It says, for whosoever is born of God overcometh. the world, and this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith.
So understand this. To be born. We were just talking about that, right? When you come into this truth, there's something that you have to do. What are you doing right now?
Fight my demons.
You fight your demons. You're shedding yourself of the world. You putting your 90 days in so that you can kill that old man. And when you come in here, you're gonna take a oath, not with me, not with Cap, but with the Most High. And you get a new name. And then that old man you put to death. So now you have a new life and a new name. You know what I'm saying? And so when you do that, you become a new man. So understanding that, you have to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. If you love the Lord, you know what I'm saying? If you want to come into life, matter of fact, what was the end on that?
Oh, we was done with that.
Let me see.
Commandments not grievous.
It's not grievous. So understand that, man. Whosoever. It's talking about that drug dealer, man. That child molester, you know what I'm saying? That murderer, that dope boy, that pothead, you know what I'm saying? Those who were addicted to drugs. It's not talking about, the white man who was the devil the Bible speaks of. It's not talking about that African, you know what I'm saying? It ain't talking, what does he need salvation from? Cows pissing on his head? He wants that to happen. That's by choice.
Remember that fish you was talking about? They bringing over with all the bacteria.
Yeah, that sun-dried fish, man. Come on. What kind of crap is that? What you're doing right now is overcoming the world, man. The Bible says be in the world, but not of it. You overcome it by keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. That faith is the work that you do for the Most High. When you put those boots on and you go out to camp and you show up to class, that's that faith, man. It's the works that you do. And you keep doing that, brother. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be free. You know what I'm saying? The truth shall set you free. It ain't talking about free like you can just walk up into a bank and start robbing and killing, but from those strongholds, those dogmatic principles, those things that we were taught. And we were taught by someone who didn't even know why they were doing it, because Big Mama did it. You know what I'm saying? And it makes no sense because we die because of those things. Oh, I got to eat on New Year's. Everybody got a resolution. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Why celebrate that dumb holiday when we were in captivity, being sold and departed from our family so that they can make it through the winter? No, I got to eat black-eyed peas and what is it, pig feet or something like that? Hog maws.
Yeah. Chitlins.
You got to eat. It's just a tradition. The Lord will kill you for that dumb tradition. You're getting hypertension because of that stupid tradition. Those dogmatic principles don't do a damn thing for you. You all the black-eyed pea, got black-eyed peas coming out your ears, and your feet can turn to pig's feet. It ain't gonna bring you no better. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? That's funny about me.
Sure.
When we think about a lot of these traditions that we celebrate, we started doing it when we was in slavery, okay? Because that was a day that Master took the day off, and he got drunk and didn't do anything. So that was a day that you got to eat good, okay? Well, hey, I know this day we're gonna eat good this day, so we ain't gotta get up at the crack of dawn and go in the field. Master gonna get drunk and they're gonna have a party, then we get to have a party. And so we're gonna get the best scraps today, because you're still gonna get scraps. We get the best scraps today. So we've taken those traditions that they gave to us, and we're using them on our own free will.
Well, we don't have free will. But you know what I'm saying? Understanding that, like, you think that you have an opportunity, but when it's life or death, it ain't no 50-50. Because if I told you that smoking weed, if I told him that being a child molester, I told him that being a homosexual is surefire death, they're not going to say, well, what's my other option? Well, do right. Stop doing it. And then you overcome the world, man. And then, what we doing in the ISUPK? We're winning. We're keeping these laws, statutes, commandments. That's why it's so detrimental for us to learn who we are. And it's so diabolical for them to teach us a nationality that isn't ours. This is why Kyrie is going through what he's going through right now. Why Kanye is going through what he's going through right now. If they was in the ISUPK, they'd be winning. Because every time you do and put forth to have faith and do what the Lord has commanded us to do, man, listen, you stacking up your bricks in the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
With no moth, no rust, or nothing of that nature can take away from what you're putting your brick in for. So you answer your question, Twa, you good?
Yeah.
Oh, you straight? You sure? Come on with it now. Hey, all right, most I cry. Go ahead, you ask me what to pull out.
Yeah, because I just wanted to show how like the Bible is not contradictory. Okay, I think we've already did it one time. We pulled the pretty much same scripture, but in different books. Okay, and I don't want to just say this. Okay, now if we go to Mark, this basically saying the exact same thing, the love of God. If we go to Mark chapter 12, verse 29, verse 30, it says, "And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all their mind, and with all their strength. This is the first commandment." This is going off of what the Adawan just said. Okay, and then this is the brotherhood class. Okay, so now second in 31 it says, "And the second commandment is, namely this: Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself." Thy neighbor, make sure we understand. Thy neighbor is not these heathens. It's not the Hamites. It's not the Edomites. It's not the Moabites. It's your Israelites, your blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You shall love thyself as they love thy neighbor. There is none, they love thy neighbor as they self. There is none other commandment greater than these. So the two commandments God just said, love me and love your brother.
Damn right. And what the brothers brought is heavy because that's what the love of God is. We just read that. To keep these laws, statutes, commandments, they are not grievous. Why doesn't a brother or sister keep these commandments? You know what I'm saying? Why is it so grievous? Because the Christian church teaches you have free will. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
They teach you that there's another option outside of death. Well, destruction, being destroyed utterly. You go to any favela, barrio, reservation, or hood, you see our people being utterly destroyed until they do what? Die.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you thinking that, okay, yeah, I have the ability to feel this certain type of way, and those feelings are what get us killed. In IGPK, we learn how to have self-discipline. We're warlords. We fight those demons that get us killed. You know, who don't want to smoke weed all day? Who don't want to do coke all day? Who don't want to get drunk and, you know what I'm saying, go to the strip club and throw a couple of dollars and do some old wicked stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because it feels good. It feels good because we don't know any better as a people. Because the Christian church says, hey, listen, as long as you have your own personal relationship with God, and in your mind, you thinking that your conscience, which is your cognitive distortion, is you reasoning with the Most High. But it clearly states that his thoughts are our thoughts.
And I was trying to find that scripture in there, and I just can't find it.
Which one?
The one that says, as long as you have your personal relationship with God.
Hey, you know, you can't get in there.
I was trying to find it, but I couldn't find it.
You're not going to find it. I thought you told me.
But you know, and that's the difference between the Christian church and the IGPK and the Commanding Junior High. If we say something, we're going to show it in scripture. Okay, we're not going to say our personal opinion about anything. We're not going to just make up things. We're not going to say, "Hey, you can eat pork because we're under what they call we're under grace now."
Under grace.
As long as we pray over it before we eat it, show me the way that's. I just know Deuteronomy, Leviticus. It just says
it's right there beside. Use your investigative judgment, which is not in the Bible, man.
Exactly.
And religion is not in the Bible. Think of it this way: if you were doing something you weren't supposed to do, right? And you ended up cutting your leg open, right? You're going to sit there and reason with yourself because you don't want to get that leg sewn up. Mm-hmm. You know what? You know what's going to hurt. You know, it's going to cost you, you know what I'm saying, an arm and a leg, and it's just going to be painful. But what's the other option? You leaving it open and getting infected and potentially getting it amputated. But what? Because you're scared. You don't want to. It's a feeling. You got to do what's right, man. You got to do what's best for you. And what's best for the so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians is keeping these laws, statutes, commandments.
That's right.
Then you'd be free from that anxiety, that depression, you know what I'm saying, which all stems from selfishness, but that's a whole nother class. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You got to take that little bit of pain, you know what I'm saying, which it ain't grievous, Because the leg already cut open. You was gonna bleed out and die. Go ahead and get that leg sewn up.
That's
You
right.
know, brothers, says, come on in this truth. You know, and do what thus saith the Lord, so that you can keep your life. You got something to bring up?
Nah, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it right there. Through all the brothers and sisters that checked in, you know what I'm saying. We will go ahead and go through these prayers. You want to read? No, we're gonna read the prayers first. Then we'll go to the announcements. Matter of fact, here we go. Here we go. All right. All right. You want to read in Hebrew?
English.
English? Go ahead.
This is our Father.
Hold on. Salakia. So whenever we begin to pray, we say Amajim, which means to stand. With Panya Hakwadam means turn to face the east, which is this way. And you can go ahead and read them. Go ahead and read them English basketball.
Our Father, which art in heaven,
Our Father, which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come.
thy will be
Thy
done
will be done
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
our daily bread.
and forgive us our debts
Forgive us our debts
as we forgive our
as
debtors.
we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
Lead us not to temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom
and the power,
and the power
and the glory
and the glory.
forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it. Keep on.
Okay. Lord.
And tell them we read first.
Okay.
The
Hot prayer.
prayer for the power.
Lord,
Lord,
in the name
in the name
of Yahushua,
in the name of Yahushua,
please give us the power
please give us
the power to heal
the power to heal
all manners of sickness
all manner of sickness
and all manners of
and
disease,
all manner of disease,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to cleanse
Lepers.
the lepers,
the power to raise the dead,
the power to raise the dead,
the power against unclean spirits,
power against unclean spirits,
to cast them out in the name of Yahushua.
to cast them out in the name of Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
This is the blessings. Bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
and Yahushua,
and Yahushua,
and Michael,
and Michael,
and the angels,
and the angels,
commanding Junior Hannah,
commanding Junior Hannah,
the generals,
generals,
the captains,
captains,
the officers,
officers,
the troopers,
troopers,
and the sisters,
and the sisters.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahushua.
in the name of Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
This is Psalms 121. I will lift up my eyes unto the
I'll
hills,
lift up my eyes into the hills.
from whence cometh my help.
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord,
My help cometh from the Lord,
which made heaven
which made heaven
and the earth.
and the earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold, that keepeth Israel
Behold, he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in from
and thy coming in
this time forth and even forevermore.
from this time forth and even forevermore. Yep. So
Okay. This is Psalms 83. Keep not thou silence,
keep not thy silence,
O God, hold
God.
not thee peace,
and hold not thy peace, O God,
and be not still, O God.
and be not still, O God.
For lo, thine enemies
For lo, thy enemies
make tumbling,
make a tumult,
and they that hate thee
and they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy enemy,
against thy enemies,
and consulted against thy hidden
and
ones.
consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said, come,
They have said, come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation,
let us cut them off from being a nation,
that the name of Israel may be no more
in
That
remembrance.
the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consistent,
with one consent.
that they are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites of Moab,
and the Ishmaelites of Moab,
and the Hagarians,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Ammon,
and Ammon,
Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
and the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur also is joined with them.
Ashur also is joined with them.
They have holpen the children of Lot,
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah,
Selah.
do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to the Syrian,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabez,
at the brook of Kishon,
at the brook of Kishon,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became a dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb
Make the nobles like Oreb,
and like Zeb,
and like Zeeb.
ye all their princes of Zebah,
Yea, all their princes of Zebah,
and as Zalmunna,
and as Amunah,
who said, let us take to ourselves
who said, let us take to ourselves
the house of God in possession.
the house of God in possession.
Oh my God,
Oh my God,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stumble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth a wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame setteth the mountain on fire.
as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with tempest,
So persecute them with thy tempest,
and to make them afraid of thy storm.
make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek the name,
that they may seek thy name.
O Lord.
O Lord,
Let them be confounded
let them be confounded,
and troubled forever ye.
and troubled forever.
Let them be put to shame
Yea, let them be put to shame,
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know that thou,
that men may know that thou,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
art the most high over all the earth.
art the most high over all the earth. Sorry. You go ahead and read the announcements in the front.
We are the ISUBK started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to be shared themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak with a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18:21. Malachi chapter 3:8-10 means tenth in Hebrew. Mashiach. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to general. Pronounce that. Mayakiala or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. I don't know if you have these right now. I know we got the cookout coming for Las Vegas. I believe starting December 3rd.
All right. Son of Christ. I'm trying to find it. Give me a second. Upcoming Holy Convocation is gonna be. And keep reading. So.
If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headbands, and scarf.
So the next upcoming Holy Convocation is going to be the Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah. All right. So we're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers, men of Israel, Majim, Madam Shabbat, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Zakatah.
All right, so we got no sisters in here. Hey, Yada Top, class dismissed. Oh, you can go ahead, brother.